Hello my students, how are you? So today I'm going to go over lesson 3, the distributive property. You may take notes in your notebook, the right hand pages. This should be a new page left and right of your notebook. In my notebook it is page 5. If you've numbered all the pages it's fine, it could be other ones. So this is the title. Let me see, let me get my pen working. So you could write Unit 1, Lesson 3, Distributive Property in your table of contents. You could put U1 lesson. That's an L. I think I'm touching it with my hand. Okay, so first we're going to start with the video. I'm going to put this link in the assignment as a separate link, YouTube link. Watch that first. You may take notes if you want, but watch that guy first, talk about the distributed property, and then come back to this video, if you haven't already. So I'm taking that you watch the video. I'm going to do some practice. I don't know another way. Distributive property means to pass something out, distribute. Pass something out to everything in parentheses, or we use grouping symbols. Sometimes you will see brackets like this, or these fancy brackets which look different every time I draw them. So grouping symbols, when we are doing PEMDAS we say parentheses, but parentheses could include any kind of these grouping symbols. So you distribute something that's outside and pass it to the thing inside, the grouping symbols. I'm going to do these examples. Please write down these examples in your notebook. They could be either with your notes on the right hand side or on the left hand side, and you will do your assignment on the left hand side, so make sure you have enough room for that. So this one, number 1, see how the 6 is right next to the parentheses? Just like I said 2x is multiplication. When it's right next, it means multiplication, and that's what the distributive property uses, multiplication. So this one has it before the parentheses, but look at these down here. It has it after the parentheses. Now, they didn't really need that dot. They could have used other parentheses, or they could have put it right next to. They used the dot because when it's right next to, it would look like a minus 15. But if it was a positive number, if it was a positive number, they could put it right next to the parentheses on the other side. Like this one, instead of having the 3 there, they could have the 3 there afterwards. Okay? I'm going to erase some things because I don't know when I put pressure on my stylus or what causes it to put that little circle. Okay, so distributive property. Now, remember, combining like terms, we need the same variable, same power. So distributive property, first you've got to multiply with everything inside. Now, I use these little rainbow arches. You don't have to. Some people do, but make sure you understand what they mean. Some people draw like more than 2 here. I drew 2 because I'm distributing to the 1 and the -5. Now, a minus, whatever is right next to in front of a number, the coefficient, that is what goes with it. So this is a minus or a -5m, and this is a +1. So our first thing, I'm going to write out all the steps and then do it quicker for later ones so you get the hang of it. The first thing I'm going to multiply 6 is 6 times 1. Now, my second arch, I'm going to multiply 6 times -5m. So 6 times -5, you could do it this way. You could do a plus 6 times -5m if you need to write out the steps. So this becomes 6, and 6 times -5, a positive times a negative is a -30m. If you want to use your calculator, please do. You don't need the plus when you're entering in the calculator. Now, this is where I'm stopping, right here. This is your answer. I cannot go any further. It is not anything to do with m. It's not like negative 24m or 36m. It stops right here because each thing has to have the same variable, same power. This is a constant, 6. This is not. This has a variable m. It cannot go any further. Okay, let's do one with a negative. So I'm going to multiply this and this. So first one is negative 2 times 1. And the next one, I have a negative and a negative. A negative is going to be a positive. So you could do that, multiply the signs, and then you have 2 times 5v. Now I did this one a little different than this one. This one I could have multiplied the signs because I would have had a plus and a minus, and I could have put a negative there and not here by the 5. It's just one sign in between. I usually do not like writing something like this. You can, but it gets confusing. This is the same as a positive times a negative. Whoops, where did my mouse go? There it is. It's the same as that, okay? I prefer this way. This seems too long and people get confused with adding, positive, negative, subtracting. So just combine the signs when you can. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 2 times 5 is a positive 10, v. Now, distributing, one way you could work backwards, there's always steps that you could follow and you could undo and go backwards, is called factors. So 2 and 10, what number goes into both of them that I could have a factor of is 2, and that's what's factored outside. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2. Now the negative sign, negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10. Okay? So distributing is actually showing it in a factored manner. It's factored in this first thing, and we are passing out, distributing, multiplying it to get this answer right here. Okay. 3 times 4. If you know how to do this, you may write down these examples and do them and then do your assignment. Okay, sometimes I do the arches on the bottom. So I get 3 times 4, 12. This is all positive, so I don't have any negatives, so I know it's a plus. And 3 times 3r, 9r. Again, like all of these, I can't combine these. This has a r and this does not. Here, 3 times 6r. So I'm doing them all different ways to see which way you prefer. Any of these will work. Plus, again, there's no negative, so everything's positive. So 3 times 6 is 18r. Plus 3 times 8 is 24. This is the first one that's in standard form. Remember, we want the variables first and the number last. So to write this one as standard form, I'm going to erase? No? Okay. To write this one as standard form, we could write 10v, because this plus goes with the 10, and this negative goes with the 2. So these two are the same thing. It's just this is standard form. And I know my v looks like my check mark, so I'm going to get rid of my check mark. Okay, this one is multiplication, so I'm going to distribute this negative 2. Negative 2 times 3, and negative 2 times negative 7. So I'm going to have a negative and negative, that's going to be a positive, so I'm going to write 2 and 7. Because I know when I multiply these two, it's going to be a positive. So I get negative 6 plus 14k. Now you could switch those to do standard form, 14k minus 6. The sign goes, it's in front of the number it goes with. This one is negative 20 times 8x and negative 20 times 20. So see, I wrote negative 20. I know a negative times a positive is going to be a negative. So I left that negative 20 there. But this 20 is positive. We don't write it for when things are positive unless we need it in between two numbers. So this is negative 160x minus 400. You could put that in a calculator, negative 20 times 8. You don't put the x, you don't put the variables. We're just working with the coefficients, the numbers, okay? You can't put the x in the calculator. You're just using the numbers for the calculator. Okay, this one is negative 15 times 7 minus, because it's a negative and a plus, negative 15 times 19b. Now, forgive me, but I don't know what 15 times 19 is. Okay, 15 times 7 is 70 plus 35, negative 105 minus 19 and 15. I'm going to have to get my calculator. 19 times 15, 4, 225, 265 maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, my calculator's dead. Okay, now I'm sorry to be taking your time with this. 15 times 19 is 285. What did I say? Did I say that? 5, and don't forget the b. Okay, 15 times 19. This one, good thing I took all that room here. This one, 14 times x and 14 times 1. This would be, they could have written this x plus 1 and put the 14 right next. See how the 14's right next to my example? That means multiplication. So, 14 times x, 14x, and no negatives, so it's all positive, 14 times 1. Okay, remember, same variable, same power. All these don't have any powers, their power is 1, but you to combine like terms, same variable, same power. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.